Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Everybody's working for the weekend. Taking care of business every day. Now it's wow, welcome to the working week.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living.
Minimum wage.
Okay, and we are back with another live edition on WCUW 91.3 of the Working Lunch. We've been on hiatus for a month or so with the weather and with holidays and whatnot, but we are back into it, and we have some changes here to announce.
Yeah, hibernation season is over.
That's right. The groundhog has come out, and so I am Jeff Turgeon. I'm the host of the show, and from the Central Mass Workforce Investment Board. And joining me as a co-host this month is Jennithan Cortes. Jennithan, you want to say hello?
Oh, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Jeff. It's quite the introduction.
So this is it's a tryout of sorts.
No, I thought I signed a contract, Jeff.
Well, nothing's really. We'll see. We'll make sure you're going to last in the chair.
Oh, so it's the,
It's
invisible ink trick.
It's a
I
two-way.
see.
It's
Yeah.
a two-way.
No,
It's a two-way.
I put it on my calendar for the next 12 months. I don't know what you're talking about, but that's all right.
Yeah, I'm just teasing you. So we do have a new co-host, Sean McCarthy, is on vacation this month, and he'll be coming back as our producer, our longtime producer and founding producer, Robert Sikowski. He's decided to spend some more time with the family and travel a bit.
That's
so
right.
we wish him.
He's enjoying his retirement.
We thank him for all the work he's done over the years with us, and he'll be still popping in, calling in now and again. I think he's still doing the show on the weekends. He does his polka show, and so he'll be still part of the Working Lunch family, if you will.
Oh, of course. An alumni.
He'll be like a
lifelong alumni member.
a parfait dessert in the Working Lunch.
Well, good for Sean. He's getting promoted.
I think it's Troy. Is that a promotion?
Yeah.
Darn, he get promoted.
Yeah, he's going to be working the board.
That's right. He's gonna be working.
Mr. Techno Savvy himself.
And so we got some other changes here, but one thing I do want to encourage, we're signing up for memberships here at WCUW. It's a great deal if you're interested in public radio or just interested in supporting public radio and what it means, and community radio. I really should say, right, Troy, to be fair. So membership is $40, $50, and so for the services it offers to the community, and for just the chance to get different voices out on the airwaves, and familiar, if you're interested in music production or radio, it's a great way to also come and get some hands-on skill.
Well, as a citizen of Worcester, a resident of Worcester, I know that this radio station does a lot for the community, and there's a lot of different shows that are held on a weekly basis at different times, and does provide a service for everyone in the community. So it's a great program, and looking forward to being here.
So as a new co-host, a lot of people, there's a lot of buzz out there about you taking the chair here. And who is Jennithan Cortes? A lot of people are asking, who is this Cortez fellow you're bringing in?
Well, actually, he's quite the good-looking guy. I know you can't see that on the radio, but trust me when I tell you that.
For the folks watching on TV, they'll see it.
Yep, and the reason that Jeff is, kind of avoiding the contract situation is he's a little nervous about his job security now. I think that's really the essence of your concerns.
When you bring in the A talent, that's right. Pushing the veteran.
Yeah, no, actually, Jeff, I'm the operations manager at Workforce Central.
Grew up a Worcester guy.
Oh, I'm a Worcester guy, born and bred. Yep, lifelong resident, been here all my life. I grew up on the east side. I live on the east side. It's a beautiful part of the city.
Youth soccer phenom, as I recall. Back in the day.
I played a few sports in my day. I think that's where you and I met a long time ago.
Well, speaking of sports, we're gonna come back in a little while here on the show to the segment we call Cortez Corner, which kind of highlights a bit in the intro a bit about your athleticism and your.
Yeah, I haven't seen the whole thing, but my understanding is that there was some quite a lot of work and research done on that. So I look forward to seeing it. Well,
it's great to have you here as a co-host. We're really looking forward to it. Really excited to have you join the team here. You've been on a few times, but this is now
the guest experience. Yep.
Yeah. So that being said, we've got some also besides this change, we've got some other changes with social media that Workforce Central and the
right.
Workforce Investment Board has been has been part of. Do you want to maybe kick it off with some of the stuff that Workforce Central is doing on social media?
Yeah, actually, what we've been doing is kind of getting up with the times. You know, we've been looking at how do we market and outreach and share information with our customers and those who are interested in looking at what we do on a daily basis. So in today's day and age, we actually created about a month and a half ago a Facebook page. It's a Workforce Central Facebook page. It's an opportunity for us to...
I just joined MySpace. I don't know if that's...
Really?
Yeah.
you got a lot
I
of-
got my AOL account signed up, and then I went on MySpace.
Are you using a landline?
Yeah.
Using that modem? Yeah.
No, that's great though. I mean, it's a great way to connect with the job seekers primarily out there. That
Well, you know what? I mean,
know
obviously, it's
what's
become unlike MySpace, it's actually being used nowadays, and a lot of people just look at it.
it's
And
kind
if
of
they're,
just a part of the common landscape, you will. Or
it's a fabric of society today,
it's
Jeffrey.
ubiquitous.
It's great stuff. I don't have those big words. So
I've got my thesaurus out for that. So you got the MySpace.
no, we don't.
No, I'm joking.
No.
You've got the Facebook page, and
That's
is
right.
it Workforce Central MA? Is that
Yes.
So they could go on and find
It
that?
is, yep, and we're advertising on a daily basis, and we ask anybody to go out there and
And I think we're also launching a Twitter.
very soon. That's
I know I've got
next.
a Twitter. I don't want to brag. I got 6 followers.
You got a handle.
Got 6 followers.
Well, maybe you should advertise your
I'm
handle.
looking for
and we'll
double.
tell-
Yes, follow Jeff Turgeon on. Oh no, I actually follow the Central Mass Workforce Investment Board on Twitter and help me get to double digits.
10. We're looking for 10.
10.
Nice.
Well, yeah, double.
Did you have to think about that?
The 2 digits.
It wasn't
there.
a trick question.
No,
It's
that's
basic
right.
math.
Yes, that's right.
There you go.
So 4 more, and I am. Like I said, I'm not going to brag about it. I'm not. Oh, look at me! I've got double digits. But it'd be nice to get there.
Yeah, maybe we can help you
Because
out.
then I'd be like, oh, you've only got 8. I've got double digits.
Well, look at that. The working lunch is coming to your rescue. We're looking for 4, ladies and gentlemen. 4 Twitter followers.
Sign up today, and you'll be in the raffle for a new car.
Oh, hey, I'm in. I'll sign up 4 times myself.
Okay, so social media. That's great to see. Any other changes with?
Yeah,
social
I mean,
media?
obviously, you just mentioned Twitter. We will be looking at some extensive work using LinkedIn as well for professional networks. So we're really getting involved with that and bringing it to market. So hopefully, pretty soon we'll have all of it readily available for clients and customers and those who aren't familiar with us to find out what we do on a daily basis and maybe take advantage of that and hope that it helps them find employment.
Sure. So now these services, primarily the communication is basically going to job seekers, but we also do a lot with business out there.
Yes, we do.
And we recently, we're going to be segueing. I just want to make sure, Troy, we're not going to put you on the lurch here that we've got a segment lined up with TriState Trucking. So we do business services, and had a chance. Our own John McCarthy, who's a business service rep in
Worcester. Yep.
had a chance to go out and talk to the folks at TriState Trucking in Auburn about some of the things that they're seeing in the industry and related to the workforce. Troy, are we ready to go with that? Why don't we run that?
Hi, I'm John McCarthy with Ion Industry, sitting here today with Kevin Holmes from TriState Truck Center. Kevin, could you tell us a little bit about TriState?
Well, good morning, John. Yes, TriState is a heavy-duty truck dealer located in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. We actually employ 116 employees today. Our business was established in 1984, starting a service station with 2 employees. And today we represent the Western Star Freightliner and Mack trailer lines. We obviously sell, repair, and distribute parts for all 3 brands.
I understand that we've had a great working relationship with TriState Truck Center over the past few years, but could you elaborate a little bit on the working relationship that you've had with the Workforce Central Career Center and the Central Mass Workforce Investment Board?
Sure. We first sought support from your organization, John, when, as you know, and why we're having this discussion today, is the difficulty in finding people to enter our industry. And, we reached out to your organization. I believe it was by email, first and foremost. And, you were so kind to help us and bring us to some of your events. I know we've obviously been to the Centrum, I believe, for one of your events, one of the workforce events, and each and every year thereafter we've participated. I know that our Senior Vice President and General Manager has a close working relationship with your organization, and our marketing group as well. And it has given us an avenue to seek those people and find those people that are obviously really important to the growth of our industry today.
Now, Kevin, in some of our conversation with the TriState Truck Center, we've found that there's a growing need for diesel mechanics, within the trucking industry. I was wondering if you could tell me about some of the programs that you've been working on at TriState and how you've been trying to meet that need.
Well, today, John, 80% of anything that that our consumers touch, live within, for example, a new home that's built today takes 5 tractor trailers to build that home, and so what we really have today is a very limited workforce to attract, and so what it has done is not just on a local level but on a national level. We have a very severe problem, and what it comes down to is accreditation through the high schools today is very important. The focus is on furthering college education, and the expense that is involved there such. So what we have been looking to do is we've been looking to partner with organizations that we can attract that young youth at a much younger age than in the past, such as one of our plans is even going to the elementary schools, starting as early as elementary education, and introducing our industry to them. What many years in the past our industry has been looked upon as a very dirty industry that people that would normally not look to further their education would come to our industry.
Sure.
That's not the case today. Today, the sophistication of our vehicles takes advanced technology.
Sure.
So the people that are entering our industry today, they must be technology savvy. And there's even specialists today. Not to sound too risky, but they could even be like doctors today, specialized in drivetrain, specialized in engine overhaul, specialized in electrical units and,
Sure.
and such. So it's not just the overall mechanic technician today. They're specialists. So we see an opportunity to work with organizations like yourselves to attract these people and younger people, to work with the schools, to formulate internships with our own organization here, and again, that's where we see our future success in attracting those people today.
Sure, and I know, Kevin, you've done some work with Worcester South High School, and you've also been setting up an apprenticeship program here at TriState. Could you tell us a little about that?
Well, the South Initiative is very grassroots right now. Today it is building only. However, Rob Lines, our director of training here, has been working closely with the South Group to establish educational criteria, equipment for the school. We're actually working with Daimler Trucks North America to facilitate some of that advanced equipment, whether it be trucks, whether it be engines, whether it be drivetrain, whether it be training aids. So something that's very unique to the industry, because locally it has never been done, and we're very excited about that opportunity. Rob is leading edge, so we're really excited about that future opportunity with South. And we see, to go back to my earlier conversation about the internship, we see being able to partner with schools such as South to bring those students in on an internship, whether they are in school a week, work here at the dealership for a week, hands-on, on the floor, working in our training center or being educated in our training center. And at the end of that 4-year education, they would actually have a full-time position here as a certified technician and immediately begin to obviously receive the fruits of their benefits through a full-time position. And going back to that discussion about the real critical issue that we face today with technicians is this industry is basically recession-proof. We have not laid off a technician in over the 30-year history of the company. So,
Excellent. Kevin, could you tell me if there are any other organizations that you've been working with outside of South High?
well, today, John, we presently are working with UTI, Universal Technical Institute, in Norwood, Mass. We have actually been working with UTI for a greater part of 5 years. I sit on their advisory board, as Rob Lyons does. And we actually just recently have made a major investment in one of their classrooms where I probably shouldn't be saying this until the unveiling. However, it's a pretty unique classroom that we're wrapping. It will have many industry visible pictures on the wall, desktops, floor. It's a simulated shop. So really, really excited about that, and we'd really like many to see it. And actually, the students that are presently there today will experience it when it opens. And again, another initiative that we're trying to keep the Daimler brand, Freightliner, and TriState in front of these students. So we do have commonplace, and we do attract them to our business in that manner as well. So really excited about that.
Outstanding. Well, Kevin, just had a couple more questions for you. I was wondering, when you're talking about that drive, is there a type of person that you're looking for to come on board for TriState?
We look for, in our business, our parts distribution business, our service business, we will bring raw talent, and raw talent by the means of you don't have to have industry experience to join this company. We have warehouse workers that we'll bring into our facility. We will train them. We have an assistant parts manager today that began as a pool installation person 9 years ago.
Outstanding.
Retrained him. He's an assistant parts manager today. We're looking basically for an individual that has a good work ethic, obviously is a good standing citizen within the community, because we are a company that obviously is very concentrated on giving back to our community. So it's very important that the individuals that we bring to our facility are such people. And also we do coin a phrase that there are certain people here that call TriState people, and it's very evident when you're first looking and speaking with these people, and we bring them on for that 90-day term, whether or not they're going to be that TriState person that, quite frankly, ultimately, in our business, it's the customer. And if we don't have people to support that customer, then obviously we need to find people that do. And we've been very fortunate. And, from a youth standpoint, we're seeing that we're becoming a younger company. We were obviously, our retention rate today is 50% of the people have been with the company 5 or more years.
Excellent.
So we're seeing some great retention numbers. So there's unlimited growth with not only in this company, the industry, and any individual that really has that drive, has the opportunity to do what I did 30 years ago, from a 3-bay service station to a $60 million company that we are today. And again, John, like I said, working with organizations like yourselves, we look for tremendous opportunities in the future. Our growth for 2015 for ads for employee base is looking to be about 10% or 10 to 15%. So
Very good.
we're hoping we can rely upon people like yourself and your organization to help make that happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. What type of positions do you think you're going to have, for growth needs, Kevin? I mean, obviously diesel mechanics is a dire need, but
Yes.
What other opportunities are there at TriState?
Well, today, again, as I mentioned to you, we, by all means, the technical side of the business, every day of the week, we could hire new people and technicians. And it's not turnover, it's attrition, it's growth. Our company here, again, we've added another 5,000 square feet of bay space that we're adding for, again, our Daimler brand. We have over 40% of the market today, which is just, the growth has been immense. So again, the number that I used for 2015, that's need-based today. That's not for future growth. So when you ask, what do we need? We need people that have a strong work ethic, come in here to TriState, fill out an application and interview with us immediately, because we can obviously transition many people with many different qualities to many different positions within the company. So we can utilize as many people as you can bring through our door, John.
Very good. Kevin, thank you so much for your time this morning. It's been a pleasure speaking with you about TriState Truck Center, about the opportunities that are being presented for your growth going into the near future, and about the exciting programs that you're bringing to the forefront in meeting the needs of the industries for diesel mechanics.
I appreciate the opportunity sitting from the president's seat here at TriState, and we look very much forward to working with you and your organization and supplying the personnel and people that we need to move our company forward. Thanks again.
Very good. And this has been John McCarthy with Ion Industries. And back to you, Sean and Jeff in the studio.
Want to say that John did a great job of that, and obviously he did not get the memo when he did that you were going to be co-hosting this month, but he did a great job going out there and talking to the good folks at TriState. They're a great company. They're also located in Shrewsbury, I am to understand.
I think they are.
I may have misspoke, yeah.
You may have. I'm not going to bring it up.
I had a great chance to go down and see they just opened up, as I mentioned, a new training in partnership with UTI down in Norwood.
Norwood. That's near my office.
So, but so it's great to hear for business exactly what they need. I'm pretty excited about that new series, Ion Industries.
Well, you know what? I think it's insightful for a lot of job seekers to better understand what it is. Yeah, exactly.
We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back. We're going to continue the discussion about TriState and about some of the things that were brought up in that interview. So we're going to take a quick break. Okay, you're back. We're back listening to the Working Lunch, and Jeff Turgeon, your co. So we had a nice little giggle there. So
Commercial breaks are great.
Those commercial breaks are great, and I had a chance to actually, when I was a little bit younger, I had a chance to listen to some Jeremy Dank back when some of the older stuff.
No, I was a freestyle guy.
You're a freestyle guy. So listen, we were talking about the interview that John did with TriState Trucking and about their need that they see for diesel mechanics and diesel technicians. And these jobs are, they start around $45,000 a year. It's not unusual for a diesel tech to be making six figures, some up in the mid or high six figures as well. I mean, they can really earn a great living doing that. And they say that for every 20 that are retiring, there's like one going into it. There's just a real lack of young people going into diesel techs, and really I kind of see that across the board with a lot of the hard trades.
I was going to say
a lot of the trades with their hands, right?
That's indicative of a lot of industries now, manufacturing and things of that nature.
Well, and so one of the things that, and I actually put this on my blog the other day, is there's this college for all mentality that we've been pushing has really, I think, done a disservice to our economy.
How so, Jeff?
Well, people growing up today, they hear you have to go to college to be a success. If you want to earn any money or earn a decent living, you have to go to college. And certainly, college is a great route for some. But if you're really good with your hands and that's what your passion is, there's some great jobs out there that don't require a 4-year degree. Right. And so what happens is we've kind of pushed everybody into college, and we went from I'm going to give you rough numbers, about 13, 14%, 15% back in, like, say, around the World War II days. So let's just say 1945, we're coming out of World War II. About, say, 15% went on from high school to college.
Okay.
And they became your managers, your directors, whatever. And since then, we have pushed this college for all. Every generation, we've been pushing this college for all mentality. We've actually got that up now to about 66%.
Oh, wow.
Pretty amazing.
Yep.
Pretty amazing jump. But here's the problem. Two things have happened. One is, of that 66%, about 2/3 of them will drop out before they get their degree within 5 years. So they're not sustaining it. They go to college, they get a debt, and they drop out.
Sure.
So now they're kind of lost, if you will, in limbo for a bit. They don't have a college degree. They've got some college debt. So they're kind of the worst of both worlds there. Of the ones that do graduate, so about a third of them, not even a third of them, will go, about 20% or so, 25% actually go on and graduate, say within 5-6 years. Of the ones that do, I read a recent study by the Federal Reserve. 50% of those graduates were working in jobs that don't require a college degree.
Really?
Yeah. So they might go on. They might be working retail. They might be working as a bartender or whatever. They're kind of just getting by.
That's a high number.
It's a very high number. 70%. 70.
That's a higher number.
It's even higher. We're earning less than $15 an hour. These are college grads. These are successful ones. We're not talking about the ones that had dropped out of college or the ones that never went to college. We're talking about recent college grads within the last 5 years they've graduated of college. The Federal Reserve study indicates that 70% are making less than $15 an hour. Yet they've got student debt loaded, right? Loaded with student debt. So I saw this great video that was put out by an organization that was kind of pushing back against, we got a call. This is striking a nerve with some people out there.
First time caller. It'll be my first call.
How dare you say that on the radio?
Maybe they're questioning your math. There's a lot of percentages going on out there.
Was that 50%?
Of the 40%?
Was
of the
it half
20%?
or was it 50%? I'm not.
I don't.
But here's what we got. So we've been pushing this college for all, and yet we've kind of pushed kids out of going into these trades like manufacturing, diesel tech, and other hard trades, and now we have
a lack of
these skills labor,
Yeah.
and that's and it's in part why you see the Volksschools doing so well as well.
Well, trades.
In terms of that as well, those
learn
graduates come
a
out.
trade.
Yep.
Apprenticeship programs that are getting people into a program that'll get them hands-on experience while they earn some monies to get them through that that learning curve, so that they are well prepared to take on some of these jobs that at the end of the day are good paying jobs.
So some thoughts are just that post-secondary training is often necessary, but that's different from a 4-year degree, and certainly diesel tech, there is a bit of post-secondary training that's going to be needed, or some specific training for that industry, but 6 months, 9 months later, they're going to come out making 40-something thousand a year, and that's the start, and then they go up from there. So, and if you're good with your hands, you're passionate about that kind of things, you enjoy that, we'd invite people to check out those programs.
Well, you're going to excel at something that you enjoy doing.
And I also need to give kudos to TriState for reinvesting in their community. I mean, they're actually sponsoring that training classroom down in Norwood. They're looking about doing something similar out here in Central Mass. So this is a company taking it upon themselves. They're not looking for government to do it. They're not looking for a handout or whatever. They're looking to actively be a part of the solution, which unfortunately we don't see. Not every company is in a position to do that,
Right.
And then it's not always the mentality of companies.
Well, I was reading some of the research on this and the data. Wasn't there a statistic or a chart that showed that, the upper management level, if people who are in upper management, they make a decent amount of money, right?
Yeah.
But those who are at the lower level of management, as compared to let's say the higher level diesel mechanic, as an example, that they were they were actually coming into play. So it's not a matter of what you do to a certain degree. It's also a matter of how you do it and how long you've been doing it. So a professional diesel mechanic can earn more money, an established career, as compared to a low-level entry, manager who doesn't perform as well.
Exactly.
If you will. So I mean, there's merit in that.
Yeah. So there's that whole range thing, and it comes into. So
I don't know what the percentages are, but I forget the stats.
Yeah, but this is a great. So I invite people to go to the Central Mass Workforce Investment Board group page or the blog page on LinkedIn. Look us up on LinkedIn, and you'll see that there's a great video we've embedded there as a post that talks about that mismatch and about how how that all sorts out, and it's some amazing information there, and it's an amazing story, I think, for our nation. We've moved so far in one direction. The pendulum has swung in so far that it really has hurt our local economy as a result of that.
Well,
And I'm not,
yeah, just to bring a little personal story to this, I mean, as being a father of 4, I also have kind of cultivated that philosophy, telling
same
my
thing
kids
here.
that, you got to go to, finish your high school and you go into college. You
Same
go into
thing
college
here.
or college.
Same thing here.
And, that's not, it's not for everyone. I can talk about, I won't, but, brag about some success stories where, people are in construction or working a trade and working hard and doing their thing and earning a solid
Especially
living.
if they pair that up, if they're inclined. I mean, start their own
Down the road.
their own
Start
contracting, their own plumbing a company or
Entrepreneurship.
whatever. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, everyone wants to work with a good plumber, right? Everyone needs a good plumber at some point. Everyone needs a good electrician. Everyone needs, a carpenter or whatever. So it's those routes are available to people, but it's certainly been discouraged over time, and so it's good to see maybe some people getting back. Speaking of starting
Good.
businesses,
Yes, sir.
we had a chance to go to a new business in
I
Worcester.
heard. And what's the name of that?
It is Addie Lee's, and a lot of people
Yes.
mistake the book. Oh, Abby Lee. It's Addie with a D. Addie Lee's, and it's down on Main Street over by the Hanover Theater.
Yes.
It's kind of across from the Hanover Theater on the corner there, and some great soul food, like Southern style.
I've heard
soul
nothing
food.
but great things about it. I haven't been able to go down there, but based on the feedback that I've gotten from the young man who did the presentation that's coming up.
So we have a segment on that. We do this segment called Downtown with Ethan Brown. You
Champ,
know Ethan.
a.k.a. Champ.
And so, do we have that, Troy, ready to go? Let's go down to that segment.
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown.
Nope. Mr. Pop.
I don't know why you don't take me downtown, like you got anywhere better to be.
Will I see you tonight on a downtown train?
Nope.
And now it's time for another edition of Downtown with Ethan Brown.
Good afternoon and welcome to another segment of Downtown with Ethan Brown. I'm your host on the scene, Ethan Brown. In this segment, I like to spotlight organizations, companies doing business here in Worcester, and I got one of those with me right now. I'm here with Rob, owner and operator of Addie Lee's.
Hello, how you doing? Good afternoon.
First, let me thank you, Rob, for giving us some time, talk a little bit about what you guys do here. Now, you're relatively new. How long you guys been in business here?
We're actually just shy of 2 months.
Okay, good. And let me say, I was in here about a month ago, and I got a sweet potato pie, right? Tell you, bro, pie so good, it make you want to slap your mama. All right, so back to the interview. So, Rob, you are a Worcester resident.
Yes, that is correct.
And Addie Lee's, why'd you choose Worcester? And more importantly, why you chose Worcester, but also what was good about this location?
The reason we chose Worcester, I'm a resident of Worcester, so it's something that Worcester was lacking for the most part. You have your different areas that do it, your black churches and things of that nature, but there's really no soul food restaurants in the city, so we just figured, the location became available, and we just figured, now's the time to try and give it a shot.
That's really, really cool. Tell me a little bit about some of the things that are on the menu.
Most of your menu, the majority of the menu is your staples of Southern food, fried chicken, black eyed peas, collard greens, cornbread, just things of that nature, fried okra, yams,
Whoopie doobie. I'm like Pavlov's dog over here. I'm like salivating. Listen to all this. Sean, I know Sean's in the background. Sean is like my comedy relief. If I feel angry, I want to make fun of somebody. Sean is my guy. I know earlier we said we were coming somewhere else, but we're going to come here on Friday. All right, put that on my calendar, please. Well, I'm sorry, what?
fried fish on Fridays.
Stop playing. Stop playing. That's going to get you where you need to be. All right, that's awesome. So, hey, if I want to send people here, where am I sending them?
You're sending them to 596 Main Street, Worcester, Mass. Telephone number 508-752-0569.
Thank you so much for your time, Rob. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're back here live at the Working Lunch. That was another segment from the feature Downtown with Ethan Brown.
He does a fantastic job.
I just think he likes the free lunches he gets. That's why he always goes to restaurants. We're like, oh, why don't you go to this manufacturer? Why don't you go to this? He's like, oh, Addie Lee's. That sounds good.
Well, I think that contradicts his efforts that he's doing in the gym right now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
He's
So
working hard.
I had referenced the fact when I introduced his segment that it was Addie Lee's with a D, because when he first told me, oh, I'm going to Addie Lee's, I thought he said Abby's house, and I was like, and that's like a program for I think for supports women in shelter or whatever, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. I thought you wanted to focus more on like business startups or whatever, and he's like, well, yeah, it's like, I was like, no, it's Abby's house. That's been around a while. It's a very well established, and so we were talking about different things, and so finally he finally understood that I was talking about something totally different.
Yeah, I'd say.
So.
And then that's not another discussion
Not
about
that
other
Abby's house doesn't have
restaurants.
good food there. I'm sure their food is fine. It's just they're not a restaurant.
Right. I was more on the line of like Abdal's Big Boy. Remember that?
I love Abdal's Big Boy.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, is it true that you had once dressed up? Do we have a footage? I think we have a picture. Do we have a picture of you dressed up as?
No, I was actually.
I think we're going to cut now to. We're going to go. The B-roll is going to be a picture of you dressed as. I think Sean will be able to Photoshop something right now
like
for the people. Obviously, the people on the radio can't see that, but when by the time this gets tape delayed, I think Sean's going to be able to do that.
He's a
Wasn't that
magician.
amazing? Isn't
He
that
was.
amazing?
I love the way you segued right into that. Right into that.
Abdal's Big Boy. That was a great place.
Yes. Right here.
Yeah.
Right around the corner.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I was telling you during the break, I used to go to Lums.
Yes, I heard that.
It used to be a big cowboy hat or something.
Bonanza. We were talking about Bonanza. And what was the other one?
York
we were talking
Steakhouse.
about? York Steakhouse. Yes.
With
Look
the
at that.
numbers, the fancy numbers on your tray.
On your tray.
So that's how you know it's good.
You knew they'd come over. They'd serve you. They'd come to you. Remember, you just sat there and waited.
I thought
never-
you
never-
walked down like a
you
like
go
a
s-
chute or something.
You did,
You're
and then
like,
you'd sit down at your table.
I'll take one of those.
Right.
I'll take one of these, and oh, yeah.
And then you'd wait, and they never came out at the same time.
I was wondering how they
would
got
want
the-
one would be served, and then you'd wait, and you're like, oh, you're really going to cut into the steak, huh? You're not going to wait for me, right? I think that's where a lot of couples didn't make it. If your date was going to York
like-
Steakhouse.
Oh, I guess yours is taking longer.
Yeah, I'm going to eat, hun, before it gets cold. Nice. Date
Nice.
number 2 never
I'm gonna be out in the car. Just when you're done eating, just come on out. I'll go warm up the car.
Yeah, that's a red flag. Good thing they didn't have cell phones
No,
back
they
then. They'd
didn't
be texting their friend, yeah, pick me up. This guy's not going to make it.
Good old York Steakhouse.
We should have went to Abdal's. That's what they were saying. Should have went to Abdal's. Actually, you started your career at Abdal's, I heard, back in Indiana.
Troy, that's true, right?
Troy
They
wants
have-
no part of
Troy,
this conversation.
they do have Abdal's in Indiana, correct?
He wants no part of this. Just talks in the commercial times.
So we've also, and I've mentioned when we were talking about this. So there's a lot of great restaurants out there. But I hear for fast food, I heard Sonic is going to be coming to the area.
I just heard that today.
Yeah, I heard
No,
that.
actually, I heard it before, but
Did you hear that? Do you know where?
I don't. Massachusetts, there's going to be some 3 sites, I think, is what they're saying. It'll be like, Buffalo Wild Wings opened in Shrewsbury. That was
Yeah.
a big to-do. People
Yeah.
lined up for
Crowded people everywhere.
Yeah, I like wings over Worcester
I have a
myself.
little bit of a
Oops.
rant if you want to hear it.
Not really.
See this is what I'm talking
But
about.
I was kidding. See the
This is-
face? See the face? I'm kidding. Wink. Go ahead, do it.
we
Rant. Please.
Rant. Go.
Rant on the spot.
So the place where that is, the Buffalo Wild Wings, used to be a Borders, right? Borders Books, and they got the cafe where you sit with a book or a magazine and you have coffee and you kind of chill out, right?
Yes.
So, do you know the location? Obviously, it's up on the hill, overlooking the whole valley, the Lake Quinsigamond, the valley going up, UMass, like a beautiful kind of scene in front of you when you're looking out the back of that building.
Okay.
So, what does Borders, the corporation, do? They come in with this big box store mentality, apparently, and they put it down. Where do they put the cafe? Do they put it in the back with nice windows so you can see the beautiful view? Maybe put a deck. Take advantage of the fact that you've got a great view.
Right.
No, that obviously wasn't like the cookie cutter kind of way that they just drop the building in. That's the back side. That's where we just do storage or whatever. The dumpster's back there. They've got this beautiful view, and they totally wasted it. Maybe that had something to do with the fact that it went out of business. They never asked me.
They didn't call you.
Actually, as I kept telling them every time I went in to get my bagel and coffee and said, you should really turn this around. No one, after a while, they were, okay, you have to leave now, sir. That's enough.
Maybe that's why they left.
The
They just didn't
suggestion
want to
box
deal
is
with you on a
full,
daily
thanks
basis.
to you. We need
Right,
you to
yeah.
leave. But I think, seriously, I think that they should have done that, and that would have been a difference maker.
And they'd still be there?
I think so.
Well, then we wouldn't have wings.
Yeah, but you see what they did? They put windows in the back.
And we have wings.
And now it's popular.
From Buffalo.
They ship them all the way in from Buffalo.
And maybe Abdal's will come back.
What happened? Is it still? Does anyone know? Troy, do you know? Is it still like as a corporation alive anywhere?
Troy wants nothing to do with this again. Once again, nothing. He's scarred for life.
He is.
Maybe he was the original Abdal's that stood outside with the hand up with the burger on the plate. Maybe that's why. He had to stand out there in the winter
I'm
time.
looking at the clock. I think it's time to take another break. So we're going to go to a couple commercials here or public service announcements, and then we'll be right back to, hey, we're back with Cortez Corner.
Ding, ding, ding.
Now, before you became the co-host of the Working Lunch.
Before I signed the contract, right.
Before you signed the contract.
Right.
You had made a couple guest appearances, and we thought, wow, he's so good at those guest appearances.
Oh, shucks.
Why not try to capture that magic with a regular segment that we called Cortez Corner?
Ding,
so
ding, ding.
Now that you're a co-host,
Yes.
what we're going to do is we're still going to play the intro to Cortez Corner, but
Right.
you're going to do it live, so there's a bit of pressure on you.
No pressure.
I think for future renditions, can we get a shot of the chair in the corner? I think I'm envisioning you doing this. And next time we're gonna set this up from the corner, like with a smoking cigarette in your hand, like, "Hello, you've
Kinda
stumbled,
contradicts the whole.
you've stumbled into Cortez Corner." Maybe all right. So maybe we'll 86 the cigarette.
This whole idea.
The whole segment. I think that's gonna work. So we're gonna come. We'll discuss that one. We'll see how that plays out. But
Nobody puts baby
are we
in the
ready,
corner.
sir, to go to the intro to Cortez Corner?
Yes, let's do it.
The challenger, Jennithan Cortes. Number one, nice guy. Super physically fit. Runs, does like these mud runs, like knows how much he can bench, knows how many push-ups he can do.
Good evening. My name is Jennithan Cortes. I'm getting a little older now, and it's getting a little tougher. And I actually started to participate in these mud runs. I run about a 9-minute mile. I'm not particularly a fan of running, just to run around. I play sports. I've always been involved in sport. But one of the things I just started up was yoga. I'm a competitive person by nature. I always have to have that goal. And I'm trying to do the work and take the steps and the training. I'm out there every day and I'm doing my work.
Judge Cortez told me he was a different man after this experience.
This was Cortez's first secret weapon, a bull mastiff. Cortez's other secret weapon was the horse.
Cortez's attorneys say the evidence overwhelmingly showed his innocence.
Cortez is really kind of an anomaly.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 185 pounds, 84 kilos, fighting out of Milford, Massachusetts, USA,
Jennithan Cortes.
Good evening. My name is Jennithan Cortes.
Well, hey, what do you think of that?
I love that we segue from Bruce Buffer and his exciting intro.
That is one heck of an introduction. I don't even know what I can say about that.
The theory is we put so much into these opening montages and whatnot. The opening and then like the actual segment is like a minute. It's like a 4-minute intro, and then it's like you just saying,
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? Just coming out of the corner.
All right, what do we got on tap here? What are we talking
Well,
about?
actually, the inaugural Cortez Corner is going to talk about the DCU Job Fair that we just had in conjunction with the Worcester Sharks last Friday. It was our 5th or 6th annual event. And in that regards, what we do there is we've been working together with them in a collaborative effort and working with employers and job seekers and bringing this service for all folks from all over, every state. This isn't just a Central Mass thing, but it's throughout the entire state of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut as well. And this year, we had our largest fair yet, Jeff. What happened was we actually brought in 90 employers.
Wow.
And on average, each employer had about 10 job openings. On average.
So that's a bit of a indicator right there of kind of the status of the economy here locally. I mean, 90 employers were hiring, wanted to come out, and they pay money to come out to the job.
Oh yeah, it's like any expo or convention or anything like that. There's a small fee.
And we had how many job seekers? Like like hundreds. I mean, we had like
hundreds.
I heard it was over 1,000.
Well, actually, Jeff, you're a little short. This year we had the highest total count ever at one of our career fairs. 2,302.
Wow.
Is the actual count. So, and 2,302.
That was the last two that snuck in the door.
It's fantastic to see that. They came in at the end.
You're like, 2,300, we're done. And then these two guys, can I come in?
Well, you know what? We run from 1 to 5.
I'm a little sorry about that.
And they, you know what? It was a fantastic crowd. It was. It really was. The accolades that were shared with us from both sides, employers and job seekers, was tremendous. I mean, a great team effort by the staff at Workforce Central. This is a unified, one of the few things that
we can... Biggest in the state, too, isn't it?
Well, it's the biggest in the state, but one of the things, too, that we take great pride is that the entire staff from all three offices at Workforce Central, Worcester, Southbridge, and Milford, work together collectively over the course of a year, and really to bring this endeavor to fruition and to have these kind of numbers is really kudos to them.
I know one thing that we kind of struggle with, so we don't have an answer to this as concrete as we'd like, is how many people walk away with jobs. That's sometimes the question. How many actually got hired, and it's hard to know because we ask the employers like, hey, report back to us, and we get a lot of great feedback, but we don't necessarily get a hard number.
Unfortunately, we're not able to get it, that hard number.
It's human nature of, we're not hired. We think we're going to hire some people.
Yeah, we work with. I mean, we try to reach out. We do surveys. We try to follow up with the employers. We work with our job seekers because a lot of those folks are coming from direct referrals from the career centers where they're working with career counselors and what have you. And and hopefully at the end of the day, even though we don't have a hard number, that we are successful and folks are going back to work as a byproduct of the event. So we're very happy about that and look forward to next year already.
So, and that leads us into, I know you're going to be taking over the mailbag segment.
Oh, I am?
Is it mail call, mail time? What do we call it? I forget. Mail time.
Mail time.
Troy, do we have an opening for that?
I guess we do.
There we go.
Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail.
All right. Well, there we go. I think that sums it up. Mail time.
I think that's like the Pony Express. It's a whole different thing now.
I think we borrowed that, if you will, from Blue's Clues. So we want to thank our friends at PBS for providing that. So we have a mail.
We do. Yep. We do. We actually got some mail from Dan and Webster, who actually, as a byproduct of the DCU Job Fair and his attendance there, wrote to us and he said, "Dear Workforce Central, I attended the DCU Job Fair last Friday and made some very good contacts, but now I would like to know your opinion on what I should do next," which is a great question.
It is great.
Because a lot of people go in there and yeah, exactly. So, we as a staff, we host how to leverage a job fair workshop, and a couple of key comments that we make to folks when they attend a job fair is to establish a good rapport and differentiate themselves from all the others who are just handing resumes off to the recruiters at these events, and to do something different. And the best thing to do that we've recommended to folks who've made solid contacts, had a good conversation, feel like it warrants follow-up, is to be proactive and follow up within the next week or so. And when they do follow up with their contact from the DCU, to have a conversation ready in their mind where they are alluding to something that happened at the career fair, something that stemmed from their conversation, so that it's a reminder, if you will, to that recruiter to say, "Oh yes, I remember that conversation."
Right.
You know, or you know, we talked about this and we talked about that, and I remember you being in the back corner, and I came around 2:00, and you know, something that kind of triggers their memory, so that they can remember the conversation that was had. And again, those are all the little tidbits of information that we try to share that you know, will make a difference and maybe make an impact with the recruiter, and hopefully get yourself an interview and hopefully a job.
Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Good question from Dan in Webster. Thank you. I mean, these are always intriguing because people are, you know, just kind of curious as to what the do's and don'ts are and what's proper etiquette and what they should do. So
we have a couple more minutes left. What about 2 to 3 minutes? 2 minutes. So what I want to do is jump ahead and before we wrap this up, I'm gonna do a little back and forth with a little game with you here. Okay.
Yes,
There's
sir.
an article that was in U.S. News that we found online, kind of like common mistakes that happen or things that are confidence killers in job interviews.
Okay.
And what you should do to overcome them. So I'm going to give you one example, and I want you to tell me what you would do if this situation happens to you, or maybe it has happened to you.
Awesome.
You show up for the interview and you're late. So maybe about 10, 15 minutes late to the interview. What would you do?
well, I would try to just go through the motions as you would as if you were on time. You know, try to play it off, if you will. But obviously, the employer has made a note that you are late, and that's not good at all.
Oh, I think you're 0 for 1 right now, sir.
No, I am. Wrong answer. Oh, did you write a wrong answer?
Here's what is suggested by the experts
Make an excuse.
at U.S. News. They suggest that you own up to it and apologize and note that the fact that you know how valuable their time is, and if there is any kind of extenuating circumstances, you quickly and briefly mention it, but then move on to how excited you are about taking advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah,
as opposed to just pretending that you're not late, like, your clock says what?
No, I didn't say I said go through the interview until they bring it up.
Maybe if your stupid clocks weren't ahead, it would. Okay, all right. I'll give you one more, and then we're gonna wrap it up here. What should you do if you spill your coffee? So maybe they give you a drink, coffee, water. You spill it.
First of all, you shouldn't be having coffee or water in the interview.
Okay.
Come into an interview.
So, for whatever reason, there's coffee or water on the table in front of you. Maybe it's not yours. Maybe it's just it was there, and you've spilled it. Now what do you do?
I'm going to go with the apologize for spilling the coffee and water.
No, pretend it never happened.
Really?
They
I had them
you
flipped.
just kind of like
let it spill.
Yeah, just like what's over there? What's going on over there?
What time is it?
Is that
after what
they
time
said
is
that
it?
what you should do is apologize, obviously. And if there's a way
Make an effort to clean
kinda,
it.
Yeah, and if there's a way of kind of maybe lightening the moment with a little joke or whatever about being clumsy, being nervous and clumsy, that might help you to share a moment with the interviewer.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, it is it's that time to wrap up. I want to thank Troy for producing the show. Thank Jessica and her team over at Cable Services for taping us. Also want to thank John McCarthy and the folks at TriState for a great interview there.
Absolutely.
And, of course, Ethan Brown for his moment. Any final parting shots?
No, actually, I look forward to being here on a consistent basis and working with the team. It'll be fun.
Well, this is it is, and we appreciate you agreeing to come on as a co-host. We'll see you next month.
Next month.